Hello there, this is Samantha Jayne at the Echoes from Beyond podcast, and we have today a beautiful guest with us, Alison Aldred. Welcome, Alison, to the show. It's great to have you here. How are you doing?
I'm doing good, thank you.
Good. Well, it's a joy to have you here, and thank you for being willing to come on to the show and discuss your own journey through grief and loss and your experiences with spirit world. I wondered if, first of all, you could just share a little bit about your story and who has been that loss, that grief, who's that grief been for that's changed things?
My dad. Yeah, my dad, because he was, I hope I don't cry in this.
If you cry, we all cry.
Yeah. He has always been such a strong character in my life, dependable, kind. I never heard him say a bad word about anybody. In the whole time growing up, he was always such a brilliant dad. I was very, very fortunate because a lot of people don't have that. And I did have 51 years of unconditional love. And
yeah, which is beautiful, isn't it?
Yeah.
So how did he pass?
Oh, he had a number of health problems.
Yeah.
And it all coincided with COVID as well.
Oh, okay.
He didn't die from COVID,
no.
But he was misdiagnosed continuously, and
right.
I was caring for him at the time. He was told he had intercostal muscle strain. The doctor didn't actually come out to the house, so they sent somebody else. I can't remember who it was now, but and they checked and said that it was intercostal muscle strain, and they said this continuously and gave him opioids to help with the pain, which didn't help with the pain at all.
Yeah.
And then he was just in excruciating pain, and it was awful to watch him like that.
Yeah.
And then he was eventually, after so many different things going on, he was admitted to hospital, and he was in there ages. He got pneumonia in there, and he recovered from that.
Okay.
And he then they said that he had spinal cancer.
Yeah.
And my dad said no, he didn't. We had this is a bit difficult, Sam, but at the end,
so how long did this go on for? Because I do think that
it was going on months.
Grief builds before, because I do feel we have a sense that we are losing them, even if we don't want to go there. Did you experience that in that build-up?
I did.
Yeah. And how long were you in that energy of that?
A few months.
Yeah,
a few months.
And it feels like an eternity when you're in it, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does. Yeah, I wish I'd written it all down, really. But part of the problem was when he died was that we've never found out what he actually died from. So they said that it was spinal cancer, and then they refused to do a post-mortem. So they eventually said that they'd do a biopsy, which showed no cancer at all. So it was all very messy at the end, and unpleasant, and I felt very angry.
Yeah,
very angry.
And were you actually there at the end as well? Because
yes, I was.
You were able to be. Yeah. Because I worked with a number of people when we came out of that season, that COVID season, who hadn't been able to be present, and they've really struggled with grief and loss and guilt because they couldn't legally be with their loved ones in the nursing homes or hospitals or whatever. when they were actually passing.
I was very fortunate in that sense as well.
Yeah.
I was there. I'm glad I was there.
Mm.
And I said to Dad, just go towards the light, Dad.
Bless you. Yeah.
Just go towards the light. And I just kept saying it to him, don't be frightened. I'll look after Mum. Just go towards the light.
Yeah.
So yes, I feel very blessed that I was able to do that.
Yeah.
But when he died, the anger inside me was quite strong. Yeah.
And how did that show up in your life? That anger, was it literally a vocal ray? Do you know what I mean?
I didn't want to live.
Yeah.
I wasn't going to kill myself because I knew that would hurt other people, but I just did not want to live. I did not see any reason for me to be alive.
Yeah.
There was no purpose anymore.
Yeah. And Mum, and do you feel that Mum felt the same? Mum's was in that same boat at that point, or was it just
Mum? Yeah, Mum. I think Mum's still angry. Yeah.
Do you? Yeah. Yeah. So how would you say that experience and the experience of grief has kind of shaped you? How has it changed you, would you say, that going through
hugely?
Yeah,
hugely, because from being a little girl, I've always been frightened of my loved ones dying.
Oh, okay.
I know that sounds bonkers.
No, not to me.
But yeah, even from a little girl, I think that's because I had a number of sort of near-death experiences when I was very little, and I think just having that, it's like I don't want to lose anybody around me.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, and I used to have this thing where I'd have to go around and kiss everybody in the family goodnight, just in case they died.
Oh, bless your hearts. I kind of love that, although I don't like what was behind it, but I love that sentiment. I love that. So where do you think in your grief journey, as we'll call it, I mean, I don't believe a grief journey ever ends. I think it's a journey of adaptation. And I often talk about how I think if we reframe grief as actual love and see it as a positive rather than a negative thing, that you shouldn't be experiencing grief, you should be over it by now, to lose all of that language. For me personally, it got much easier when I hit that realization. Was there a turning point for you, do you feel, to bring you out of that anger, that pain, in the depth of it, you know?
It's been very, very gradual, little bit by little bit. So in the early days, I would go up to the office and I'd see this big, massive brown butterfly just fluttering up at the window.
Yeah.
And I'd think to myself, wow, that's Dad.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's Dad giving me a sign. And various things happened or have happened since then. I don't know where to put my phone. Various things have happened on top of that for me to know that he is absolutely around me.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I tell him to go with Mum more. Because I think Mum needs him more than I do. But I do like to know that he's around. But it's been gradual. So I mean, I knew that I wasn't coping. I just was not coping at all. I was comfort eating again and putting on a lot of weight. Yeah. And I thought, no, I need to get some help. So I called in the help of a counsellor. So I started, I had a year of counselling until she told me that I tried to book another appointment and she said, no, you don't need any more.
Oh, bless you.
I was frightened to let go in case I wasn't able to cope, but she said, no, you know where I am, and if you do need me, you can get back in touch. So counselling really, really helped, but I had to get the right counsellor for me.
Definitely. And let's carry on, sorry.
I was just going to say, and then at the same time as I was seeing a counsellor, I was also doing more studying in the metabolic health world.
Yeah.
And the opportunity to, so I did various courses, and then the opportunity to do the Nutrition Network coach practitioner course came up. And I was so low in myself, just felt so awful in myself. I said to the counsellor, I've signed up to it. You know, when you do something, but you don't actually think properly about it. So I signed up to it.
Yeah.
And then I thought, just total panic, because I thought, there's no way I can do it. There's no way at all. I'm just to this, to that, to the other, too thick, you know, and the negative self-talk the whole time.
Yeah. So do you think that was Dad, like, nudging? I often think these things happen. I call it almost like having an out-of-body moment where you just do something, and it's just, there's no thought process. It's total soul-led.
Yeah, he's guiding me all the way.
Oh my God, have I just done that? Do you feel that was your dad?
Absolutely. I think he's guiding me all the way. He's good. Yeah.
So you obviously believe in life after death, as people call it.
Yeah.
The physical. So do you feel his presence around you?
Yes, I've had a number of funny things. Like, my dad's garage was total mess. Always was. He had everything in there that he needed in case he was so competent and capable. He could fix anything. He knew the answers to everything. Blah 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 blah. And I used to go into, well, I still do it now. Actually, I go into the garage, just have a chat, with Dad. And
that's his place. Yeah.
And then I turned round, and I don't know what made me do it, but behind a load of tools on the floor on the right hand side, I thought, what's that? And I just looked, and it was a painting I'd done when I was at school.
Wow.
Yeah. And I thought, what's that doing there? I mean, there was absolutely no reason why that should be there.
No.
It was just bizarre. And I think that was kind of prodding me to get back to some art. Yeah.
Oh, okay. And so you found peace in art, have you, as well then?
Yeah. I love painting.
Yeah, because there is, art therapy is a thing. It's a beautiful thing. I've got a client friend who does art therapy with children. She runs it in schools. She's got a fantastic business helping children in schools doing the art. It's expression, it's creative energy, and it's also, I also think as well, anything like that, it's what we call like a moving meditation state. So you're gone, so you're probably in flow and in connection because you're so focused on that everything else kind of goes, doesn't it? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
That connection opens.
Yeah, you can't think of anything else whilst you're doing that.
Yeah. And then, so if anything drops in while you're doing that, that's your higher self or spirit kind of like speaking to you.
Yeah.
So you love your art. And did you complete your nutrition course?
I did. Yeah. I did.
You did have the brains. Your dad wanted to show you had the brains.
But all the way along, I was saying to myself, no, there's no way you can do that. But I did it.
Yeah. So you would recommend art. If I was going to ask you what tool did you use to help you in your own healing, you would recommend art. If that's,
I'd say
if that your thing was, yeah,
counselling, definitely. Art for me was really, really helpful, and walking in nature.
Nature, I love that. Really do love that.
Yeah, I can't imagine spending a day without going for a walk in nature, because I think I'd go do lally. Yeah.
So what do you feel grief has taught you? Because a part of why I do these interviews is to show that grief, there is some good, if you like, can come out of that grief journey. What do you feel grief has taught you? Whether about yourself, the world, life, what do you feel it gave you?
not to be afraid of death. I mean, I don't think I've never been afraid of dying myself.
No, but others.
It's the fear that I'm going to lose loved ones.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I'm not frightened of that anymore.
No. Which is good.
I mean, I don't think, I mean, I don't think I'd relish the thought of anybody dying, but
no, not got the other end of the scale. Like, come on, bring it on.
no.
God, we would have to have a different conversation.
Yeah, so it's taught me not to fear my loved ones dying.
Yeah.
It's taught me that I'm stronger than I thought I was.
Oh, doesn't it just? And that's also, I think that starts before the passing, don't you?
Mm.
You know, I remember being in the hospice with my dad and turning to my best friend, Charlie, and saying to her, it's about one of the very few memories I have of the whole experience, because it's just one big ball of trauma, isn't it? You know, when you're in that situation for 5 days. I remember turning to Charlie and said, I'm actually scared. I said, I'm scared of myself. She said, what do you mean? I said, because if I can get through this, my God, what am I capable of? I am so strong. Do you know what I mean? It was like I had already realized, I was already in connection, if you like, with the future version of me beyond all of this. I think it was part of a coping mechanism. But at the same time, it was almost like I was drawing strength from my future self in my present self to sit there and walk through it. But strength is always there, isn't it? But we do forget that, you know. So I would agree, definitely. So,
and it's also taught me, well, along the way doing the NMP course, I met with a wonderful lecturer on there called Tracy McBeath, and she was doing some heart-centered values with us and getting in touch with our values, and that has really helped me as well. Completely, because I feel more grounded, more solid.
Definitely. And I also, for me, grief showed me what I needed to prioritize, what mattered, what just does not matter.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? All of those things. Did you have that as well?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. I think that ties in with the values as well. You just realize what's important.
Yeah. And time.
And what you're living for.
Yeah. And that time is our most precious thing that we have, isn't it? And not to waste it.
Not to waste it. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. I'm curious, you said how it also affected you with food and eating. So were you always a comfort eater before?
Oh yeah. Okay. I think it's not so much in childhood, but kind of teens going onward. So I think it started, without boring you too much, but I had a lot of ill health when I was young. So I had very severe asthma when I was little, and I had asthma all through my life. And then when I was 12, I had a misdiagnosis on my hip, and that led to 4 major hip ops and 18 years of pain. So from the age of 12, I was trying to come to terms with chronic pain.
Right, okay.
And not very well. So probably from about the age of 15, I started comfort eating. And then a massive trigger for me was at the age of 17, I was raped. And that just made me, first of all, I went vegan and stopped eating, got very gaunt, realized that I couldn't stick to that. Then I went vegetarian, and I was just loading up on the carbs, you know. Give me a tube of Pringles and I'll eat the lot. So on and off. On and off comfort eating. And
then the grief, you plugged back into that with the grief.
Yeah, I did. Yeah. Yeah.
So how would you say to anyone then who's listening to this and has food, what should we call it, has issues with their relationship with food, who's experiencing, what would you say to them if they were struggling with eating? They're watching this, and for them to recognize, maybe they don't even realize that they're eating, that they're doing that, because we do so much subconscious, don't we? So what advice would you give to someone who is in grief and turning to food?
They need help for their grief first.
Yeah.
And I think working with someone who can help you get in touch with what's important to you and what your purpose in life is.
Yeah.
That's paramount, because once you feel more grounded, there's not going to be you're not going to be looking for those external sources to comfort you, because you're going to be grounded in yourself. So it's not you need to do X, Y, Z, because that's very easy to say when somebody's going through grief, isn't it? But it's not very easy to do.
Yeah.
So it's a gradual process, I think, of working with someone who's experienced in that sort of thing, has gone through similar, knows what the triggers are and how they can support that person out of it.
Yeah, definitely. And do you feel that it obviously,
I don't think I could have done it by myself, Sam.
Do you not? Yeah.
No.
And obviously I'm aware that you work now. Tell us a little bit about your work.
So I'm a nutritional therapist and metabolic health practitioner, coach. So I support women to get their energy and feel vibrant again, back by balancing their hormones. So I'm all about the hormones and eating in a way that balances them out and helps them feel better again.
Yeah. And do you feel that this experience has kind of opened you up? You always were interested in it, but do you think the experience of losing dad, the gift of losing dad, as it were, is that this opened all of this up to you?
Yes, yeah, because I've seen loved ones with diabetes and insulin resistance, and my dad had type 2 diabetes.
Right. Okay.
And my mum also had type 2 diabetes, but she's in remission now. So I've been helping her with that. So.
and you do all of that through diet?
Yes. Yeah. So I don't want people suffering with the effects of insulin resistance, because it's not it's not a case if you get it and then you just take some pills and you get better. That doesn't happen. What happens is you get diagnosed. Hopefully you get diagnosed, not every time. You get diagnosed, you take some pills, and then you take some more pills, and your health gradually deteriorates over time, and then you die. That is how it works. So right. I feel really, really strongly that we ought to be getting in there sooner, diagnosing people earlier and supporting them, because it's a lifestyle issue. It's about food, and it can be fixed. It can be fixed, and nobody needs to suffer. But
exactly,
they are.
Yeah, and it's not good, is it? I have some healing clients in my client container who have these issues, this diagnosis, and it takes its toll. It really does. And I work with them at the beginning of it, as it were, in terms of healing the emotional, the anxiety and the trauma experiences that have formed the condition in the bloodstream, as I call it, have formed that condition into the physical form. So and it's all locked in, isn't it? It's all locked in, and therefore but it's all also through the trauma, through the experiences, through the reasons why behind the eating. So you look at all of that.
People don't eat for no reason.
No.
Like you say, there's trauma after trauma after, stress, after lack of sleep, after there's so many things to consider when people are doing it. It's not, I get really cross when people say it's lack of willpower.
Yeah, they don't get it. But I think people don't realize food is addiction, that it's an addiction. And it, you know, if you said you were on, I don't know, heroin or something, then they wouldn't say willpower, but as such. But it's, I just think that I think society still doesn't see it as addiction.
No,
it's like an acceptable addiction. Do you know what I mean? Like compared to heavy drug use, it's just a different form of addiction. And you know, your own life story has, as you've just shared with us very kindly, is a story of where you've had a trauma in your teens turn to food, and then the traumas come in again through loss. You know, the first trauma is losing yourself. The second trauma was losing your dad, maybe others in between, but the two we talked about. And then the trauma of losing your dad, and you've gone back to what you know, which is food, isn't it?
Yeah.
And I think, you know, and the thing is with grief as well, I think people beat themselves up for being in a state of grief because they feel, it's weird, there's almost like a guilt. There's a guilt.
Oh, you should be over it by now.
Yeah. I mean, I think it takes 2 years to truly adjust. And what I mean by that is to adjust in that person not being here in the daily. I don't know about you, I found year 2 harder than year 1. Because year 1, it was still surreal, although it was really hard because you have the firsts, you know, your first birthday without the first Christmas. Don't get me wrong, the first year is the year of the firsts. Yeah. And that's really hard. But in between those firsts, I think a coping, for me at least, a coping was like, because my dad was always off diving.
Nice.
My brain kind of just, he's off. I mean, I'm sure he is off diving, but diving in the heaven of stars. But it's, you know, but I think my brain to cope just kind of filed him as he's off diving, he's off doing his thing. Whereas in year 2, you then realize you haven't actually seen your dad in physical form, for me, for a year, and I think it lands differently into year 2. Would you agree with that?
And the realization that, you know, it's okay having all these chats in the garage, and so
I love that. Don't stop doing that. I love it.
And asking him to do X, Y, Z, but I don't get a reply, and that's, you know, it's.
You think you don't. He puts paintings in front of you.
But he does that. I mean, absolutely. He's. I mean, there's been so many different things that I'm sure he's been responsible for. But it's just not having that voice.
Yeah. And I will say to you, the fact that you're able to be in that strength of communication and just in your what I call your natural daily life instead of going into the zone, and it just speaks volumes for the love, because spirit world operates in the vibration of love. So you've got to have that love to really connect. So it just shows you that love just does not die, that sits between the two of you. And I personally love that. I think it's beautiful. So thank you for sharing that. And thank you for sharing your journey. Don't give up.
It's been a pleasure.
Moments. How can people find you? I'd love people who are struggling with food, especially if they're on the diabetic or your menopausal issue with all of that. How can they find you, beautiful?
I'm on Facebook and Instagram, and as Nutrition Alley Sugar Free, and my website is nutritionalley.org.
Brilliant. Thank you for today.
Thank you very much.
Joy, and I look forward to seeing you again soon.
Bye.